Hello, young scholars. This is Angela at firstdegreebound.com. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, the academic year for lots of you has already begun. Freshmen, I have only one word for you. Read. Read, read, read. Of course, follow your teachers in terms of what the assignments that you have, but in your spare time, I want you to read. If you're coming to me strictly from YouTube, then I'm going to put a link for you just right below this video screen. There's a description box with some additional links, because on the website firstdegreebound.com I have a reading list for you, and it's actually linking to a very sound, a very solid reading list from a very strong preparatory school in New England, and I think it's one of the best reading lists out there. Try and read at least one book per week. Now, I know you're saying, is she out of her mind? No, I'm not. I am dead serious, and right now, you have time on your hands. You've got to start reading. Take a look at the reading list, at least for those books that it's recommended that you read over the summer. You didn't get a jump start reading them over the summer, then you plan to read those books that were recommended over the summer. Start to read them during this academic year. You have some time off. Every time there's a teacher's break, you're going to have a break in October, you're going to have a Thanksgiving break, and you're going to have that long holiday break in the middle of the academic year. You know what? You need to spend some time reading. Now, sophomores, the operative word for you is early. It is early for you, but not quite that early in the sense that it's time that you really start to work on your class rank. Find out what your rank is. You know what I already said in a previous video. Get to your guidance counselor and get a copy of your transcript. Know where you are, know where you stand. Are you in the top half of the class at least? Are you in the top quarter of the class? These things are all important. But beyond that, I'll go back to the word early. I want you to start to listen. I want you to go to at least one, I'm not going to pressure you, but at least one college visitation. I've said this before, but go to at least one between now and November, because between now and November, there are going to be a lot of college representatives coming right to your school. And in some cases, if you're at a fairly large high school, in some cases you may find that the representative is a person who may be the director or associate director, who may have some privileges that they can even extend to you on that visitation. But that's beside the point. For the sophomore year, I want you at least to go to one, because you will start to learn something. I said the operative word is early, and I'll tell you why. Can you tell me what's the advantage of the word early in regards to college admissions? You're on a college preparatory track. You're on track for that first degree. So what is the significance of the word early? Well, actually, 2 years from now, you're going to hear the word early used probably 4 different ways. Let's say you're applying to a school that has a deadline of January the 15th. Well, of course, you're going to hear the word early in the traditional sense. Apply before January. Apply early in terms of the deadline. But I have 3 other uses of that word, and I want you to start to put them in your mind 2 years out. Early admission, early action, early decision. What does all that mean? Have you ever heard of those expressions? If not, start to pay attention to the seniors. They're talking about it right now in your quarter. You're passing some students in about, I guess another month or so. You're going to hear someone say, hey, I hear that William is applying early action to Stanford. I hear that he got in early decision at Yale. What in the world does all that mean? And, oh yes, I know several people who are applying to schools in Texas, and they're just going to apply early action. So what's the difference? Early action, early decision. And some people, there may be one person in your school. If it's not at your school, there has been one person, I'm sure, in the last 3 years in your town who got admitted to college early admission. Now, let's talk about these. Early decision. When you start to apply to colleges, you're going to apply to more than one school. I want you to understand that. Start to think about that now. Sophomores, juniors, pay close attention because this is you next year. You're going to start applying. You're going to be in the middle of it by the time you're going to be a senior. And those of you who are seniors, start cranking them out. Use the common application. Apply online. Yes, apply early. But if you start to have a passion and develop a passion for one particular school, maybe you have family members who went there. Maybe it's a school that has a unique program that really speaks to you, that really is something that you've always wanted to do, and you have a passion for that school in terms of admission. Then in that regard, maybe early decision can be an option for you. Early decision, what in the world does that mean? Early decision is something that you don't go into lightly, because it's binding. Binding. And if you do not honor the pact, so to speak, that you make with the school, if you're admitted early decision, that can have other kinds of repercussions. Now, when I say that it's binding, it means that you're applying early in the academic year, in your senior year, to a college or university, and you're saying that this institution is your first choice. Your guidance counselor is going to also guarantee that he or she knows that this is truly your first choice. And if you are admitted early decision, you will hear before April, which is usually the admission date, notification date, when the colleges let people know where they've been admitted. Well, if you apply early decision, you're going to hear around December. Some cases maybe a little bit earlier than that, but I said it was binding. That's because you have said, this is my first choice, and if admitted, I'm going to withdraw all of my other applications and make a commitment to attend that school in the fall. So you don't enter into early decision lightly. It's very, very serious. But there is something called early action that is not binding, but you get your application in usually by mid to late September, and you're requesting an early action from the college, meaning that you would like to be notified prior to that April notification date, which is typical. Well, that means the school will notify you. If admitted, however, you're not expected to withdraw other applications. You may still be waiting to hear from other schools as well. And that's okay. And many students like to take the advantage of early action because, number one, they know early in the academic year, okay, I've got this school as an admission, this is a backup school, this is a safety school for me, so I'm okay. It's not binding, so if you get accepted to another school that may have been a school that was a little bit more of a reach, was a little bit more competitive, then you still have some options that may come to you. So that's something also to think about. Early admission is different. Different from early decision, different from early action. Now, this is something that's unique. I don't recommend it for everyone. I think that you will be working with your counselor very closely if you decide to apply early admission to a school. That's usually where a college or university extends admission to a student early. I don't mean early in the senior year. I don't mean they notify you in November as opposed to April. No. They usually extend an offer of admission to a student while he or she is a junior in high school. Now, that may surprise you. Many people don't realize, yes, you can actually start college or university studies without having graduated from high school. It is possible. It's not common, it's not recommended, certainly not for everyone, certainly not for most. However, it is something that can take place. What would be the advantage of applying early admission? There may be a really unique program that has come to your attention. And that program is extremely competitive. They admit a handful of students to this program, and this could be something that's truly unique, but you have a unique skill. And as a result, you know that you would like to actually get a jump start on your college education. And for many students, it's an option, particularly those gifted students who have taken lots of AP classes. There are no other AP classes to take. So in the middle, they're going to find themselves in their senior year taking just lightweight courses of really no substance. And in those cases, early admission might be fruitful. But as I said, there are some things to think about. Early decision, a binding agreement. Early action, non-binding, could be a good option, especially in your senior year when you can be so stressed and the stress only mounts as every year passes by. And there's a situation where you may say, you know what, I like to be able to relax a little bit. I'll still get some other applications in. Besides, I recommend that you apply to, on an average, 4, if not 5, minimum, institutions for college. That's another subject. That's another video. But, as I said, early decision is binding. Early action is not binding. And in those few cases where it can be to the benefit of the scholar, there is early admission as well. Lots of things to think about, but I hope you're having a good start to your semester. You've got that transcript, you know where you're standing in the class, and you know what you're going to do to raise your rank. I want to know that you're taking things very seriously. And I also hope that those of you who are actually, I'll say 9th, 10th, and 11th grades, will start to think even now, yes, it's not even September, but I want you to think about next summer. I want you to think about spending 1, if not 2, summers at some kind of academic experience, some type of academic program. There are colleges and universities around the country. As the year goes by, later in the fall, I will start to post some of those summer programs for high school students. One of the best things you can ever do, spend 6 to 8 weeks at a college campus studying your favorite subject. And this is something that you would do for fun, but it helps you in terms of the college admission process. You'll be very, very surprised how much it will. And in case you say, I can't afford that, there are scholarships for those programs, so you don't have to have a lot of money to go to them either. Anyway, I'll stop right now. Just 9th graders, get busy. Start reading. 10th graders, early is the word. Get involved, get busy, start to think. Go to at least one college visitation, at least one. I hope you go to more, because I want you to be exposed to the questions that juniors and seniors will be asking. And plan on going to one of the college visitations or one of the college fairs that are going to be either at your school or at a neighboring high school or in the local community. Take care. That's enough for now. Let me hear from you. firstdegreebound@gmail.com. Have a good day. Have a good week. Be wise. Be smart, because you are first degree bound. Take care. Bye-bye.